Um, Starting out the recording. Hello, everybody, for, what is it, week 5? Week 5 already. We've got a bunch of people signing on, so we're going to wait just a few more minutes before we get going. But we have got a great lesson for today, which is the 50 tips to market your PMF practice. So this is a good one to watch. And if you don't already, you might want to grab a little pen and pad of paper and take some notes on this, because one of the things we're going to want you to do is really focus in on one or two of the things that you really want to do the most, and try to work on getting that done like this week. So the most, pick 3 things and really find what is best working for you. Oh, there's Leslie. Hi, Leslie. How is everybody? Everybody else is all blacked out and muted. So I imagine you guys are all here. I'm going to turn on the chat, and if you have questions, one thing to keep in mind as we're playing the screen sharing, I cannot see the chat until it comes back on. So if you're asking me questions, I would love to be able to do the chat while I'm watching the video, but the video takes up my whole screen. So can you guys all hear me? Type in the chat if you can hear me. Hi, Veronica. I guess Veronica can hear me. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Are you guys ready for some marketing tips? I know that in our marketing class, the first thing that we concentrate on really is getting your list going. So I'm curious to find out how many of you guys have a list, a client and prospect list. If you have a list, type in there that you've got a list. Or if you don't have a list, if you do have a list, if you do have the list, then and you know how many clients you have, let me know that too. That would be a good thing to know. And then I've got another question that I want to ask, but I want to make sure everybody responds to that one for. Becky's got a list. Paula, no list. Teresa, yeah, I definitely want to talk with you about the marketing class. And I got your email. Sherry and I have been talking about how to respond to that, but I wanted to hear what you thought after this course, or after this class. Yeah, and you can send things privately or not, or out to the public. So I think Sherry's going to be signing on. She's got a little special thing that she wants to talk about. One of the things that we really talk a lot about is mindset, and we haven't really gone over as much of the mindset as I would like, but that is a big thing that that we concentrate a lot on. And the mindset, if you're not really familiar what mindset is, it's really more than just a positive attitude. Mindset is really just your whole frame of mind and way of thinking about something, about things, and so it will include your attitude, but I also include like your overall mental conversation that's going on about things. And we're a big believer that that the things that happen in your life are a result of the thoughts that you think, and that you can control your thoughts. and the thoughts that you are thinking do come, act like magnets and bring things into your life. To give you an example, many years ago, I got this little card, this little laminated card, and it said on there that I am a money magnet and all that I touch turns to gold and to green. And I would say that all the time. And here it is, maybe 10 years later, and I live on Golden Road. We have an RV that we call the Golden Arrow. We have 2 gold Mercedes, and we live in the Green Creek area of Tryon. One of our favorite places to go to is the Green River, and our house is surrounded by green trees. And one of the things that I said when one of the times that I was really, really down after getting my divorced, I went out to the woods and I found this little pine cone, and I always kept this pine cone and said that I knew things would be going back when I could look out my window and see a pine tree. And I just kept this little pine cone as a reminder of, like, things are going to get better. And now I'm sitting here looking out, and I'm literally surrounded in pine trees and forest. So we have pine trees, and our forest is just literally wraps all the way around our house. So it's like those little things that what you say does manifest itself in your life, and having a positive attitude is really, really important. And probably the most important thing that anybody ever said to me about sales was, and marketing is sales. Sales and marketing now have, with the online world, have become just merged together. But this guy named Wayne Mass, who is a lineman for the Chicago Bears, took me under his wing when I was in real estate, and took me through his boot camp. And he's this mountain of a guy, and just a super, super nice guy, but extremely intense and extremely intimidating. But he told me that sales is nothing more than the transfer of belief. And I'm like, wow. So if you start to think about it, it is really true that sales is really nothing more than transferring the belief that you have to somebody else. And when they believe, if you believe that you have a great product, and with PMF, it cured my back pain, so I totally believed it. And for me, getting passionate and telling people about it was not hard at all. I could easily do that, and I was able to easily transfer that belief that this really works, and that kind of goes hand in hand with your mindset. And so I want you to think a lot about, as you're watching this video, we've got about a 50-minute video, so I want to get it going pretty quick. But we got a 50-minute video on the 50 things that, it just occurred to me, like 50 things in 50 minutes, maybe it's a minute a thing. But as you're going through, just take a casual observance of what your mindset is to each one of these things. And a lot of times when you will hear something, you will say to yourself, oh, I can't do that, or, oh, that won't work for me, or my situation is different, so that really won't work for me. I want you to really try to suspend that conversation for the entire length of our thing. And if you find yourself saying that to yourself, get a pad and paper right now, and I want you to write down the things that, number one, first resonate with you the most, and say, I really want to do that, and write that down. And then I also want you to keep another list that would be below the list of what you want to do. But if you find yourself resistant to things, like saying, oh, I can never do that, I would never do that, that's not for me, that's not, I can't, whatever your resistance is, write down the tip, and then try to express what your resistance is, just real quick, just a real quick initial impression. You don't have to get too deep about that. And then later when we're done, I want you to go back and look at that and go, is that something, number one, that is true, and number two, is that something that I can change? Can I change my internal conversation about that thing? And if I did, how would that really affect my life, and how would it affect my business? I'll just give you an example about this, and that is Samantha had a really, really, really hard time walking around the barn. And one of the main things that we did when we were at horse shows is that I would walk around the barn and hand out brochures and these little flyers, and just tell people, hey, I'm doing PMF here at the show, and here's our flyer. If you want to arrange for a session, I'd be happy to come and talk to you about it. And have you ever done it? And then open the conversation that way with people, and tell them a little bit about PMF, and give them my elevator speech, and as much as they would allow me, and then I'd move on to the next person, and we'd go around. And Sam had the worst time doing this. Oh my God, she hated doing it. She would never do it. Even if she did, she'd be like, ugh. And then she started really getting confidence, and she started really getting to know more about it. She started doing a lot more of the training. So she really, really got, her knowledge base was way up there. And that really got her a much more confident mindset. And then she just decided, I think, it's too bad she's not here. I think Oliver's got a baseball game, but she really decided that, well, she can't help anybody if they don't know about her, and that she doesn't mind when people come up to them and have something that they believe in, or think that she should try. And so she just said, it just kind of changed her mindset, and that changing of her mindset made a huge difference in her energy and her enthusiasm in going out and doing that. And as a result, her business really took off. So I just want you to think about your resistance to some of these things, and most importantly, to really write down 3 things that you're for sure going to do. And then really, I want you to do them by the next week. So, and sales and marketing really is all about being consistent anyway. So, hopefully you guys can all put something into practice and keep going. Eileen, you have your hand raised. I'm not sure if you know that, but if you do, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question? Or did you not know you could raise your hand? So it looks like we got a lot of people with lists. That's great. That's great. And Teresa, you're adding to your list, adding to it daily. That's fantastic. Oh, Eileen, I guess you didn't know you had your hand raised. If you want to ask a question, and I'm just going on and on and not paying attention to that, then you can raise your hand and we'll get your question answered. All right, so I think I'm going to get this video rolling, 50 minutes with 50 questions. And I got to share my screen. I am recording. I just got to, hold on, I got to make sure that I am recording. Yes, I'm recording. Let's see. Share advanced portion of the screen. Here we go.
Welcome to the Drugless Practitioner Academy's
Veronica,
50 tips to market your PMF practice.
No good.
Hello, and I'm John Golitz, and in this picture is my wife, Sherry. While I'm giving this lesson, Sherry is really the marketing genius behind it, as she's developed the list from many jump starts. So today, I'm going to share with you some of the marketing methods we've used to successfully grow our PMF practice. While many practitioners feel uncertain about marketing, we want you to remember that you can't help people and animals if they don't know about you. So in this lesson, we're going to share a lot of tips that you can do for free or with very little dollar investment. But one thing you are going to need to invest is your time. But it's an investment in yourselves that will pay dividends for years to come for you and your clients. Don't be shy. You know you're offering a valuable service. Believe in yourself and the service you're offering, and you'll have great success. What you believe, you can achieve. So we've divided this module into 3 sections: building your local business, social media, and horse shows and events. And then we've got a little bonus section at the end. So I hope you stay with us. While we'll be focusing on growing your equine PMF business, the same ideas apply for pets and people. If you're unfamiliar with or feel challenged by any of this, no worries. If you want to know how to do it, just Google it. Seriously, anything and everything you need to know about marketing is just a quick search away, and we're always here to help you. Sherry and I have researched, experimented, and taught ourselves, and you can too. Mainly Sherry does the researching. So here's section 1, building your local business. Building your local business is a great first step. Whether you plan on traveling to events or not, home is a great place to start. Reaching out to family, friends, your own trainer, etc., and offering them free PMF sessions is a great way to get comfortable with your elevator speech and doing the therapy itself. So for tip number 2 is the elevator speech. One of the most important marketing pieces that you'll do. So practice your elevator speech. Here's Sherry's and one of mine. This one is Sherry's. Would you like to improve the performance of your horse without drugs? I do pulse magnetic therapy. It sends a gentle, pulsing magnetic field into the body, stimulates cellular metabolism, and enhances a body's ability to heal. Horses love it, and most riders notice a difference after just one pulse session. When could I do a free demo for you? So here's mine. This is just kind of a general one that I do. Hi, I do pulse magnetic therapy. It relieves pain, improves healing, and increases your immune system. It works the cellular level on the whole body and returns the cell to their natural state. Have you ever heard of PMF? So I always return it back to them and see if I can get them to start talking and tell me where they are. So that's an elevator speech. And as you can see, there's 3 big benefits that you want to get across, and then a very general explanation, and then ask them a question and see if they can, or somehow that you can engage them in a conversation. So that's tip number 2, your elevator speech, a very important one. Tip number 3, your best and least expensive advertising is word of mouth recommendations. Call, text, or email your contacts, letting them know about your exciting new venture and how it can help them. Ask them to tell their friends and family about it too. This is the beginning of how you want to create your list. It's always easiest to get treatments from somebody that you know and that trusts you already. So try them first. Number 4 is set up a PMF party at your home or barn. Offer to do a PMF demo day at your tack shop or feed store. This has always been a good one. Number 5, do some research and locate all the barns from a variety of equestrian disciplines: racetracks, tack shops, feed stores, riding clubs, 4-H clubs, polo clubs, within or 2 or 3 hour or however big of an area that you're going to travel to. Contact all these places via phone, email, or in person, and do a visitors post on their Facebook page and offer to do a free demonstration. These people you all want to put down into your list, your customer relationship manager. Number 6, check out the U.S. Equestrian Federation's website, usef.org, and click on the Compete tab And here in the USEF, it provides a comprehensive resource and information for equestrian competitors, events organizers, and licensed officials. It's really a great place to go to get a whole bunch of information, horse shows, all that kind of stuff. Number 7, offer a trainer a special. We like to give trainers 1 free pulse session for every 5 or 6 clients they sign up. Encourage them to set up appointments for their clients by offering to let them charge their clients directly and add a service fee. We have several trainers that do that, and they offer a good service because they provide the grooms and the place to do the treatments. Number 8, offer PMF packages at home or at the show. For horses, we typically offer 3 treatments for $250 or 6 treatments for the price of 5 or $500. For people, we charge $20 for 10 minutes, $50 for 30 minutes, and 5 sessions for $45 each, 10 sessions for $40 each, and they must pay up front and schedule it up front. That's very important. Of course, these prices, you can really do whatever you want to do based on what you think your market is. But the idea is to offer the packages and get them to buy a multiple treatment package, and then they get a little discount for paying up front and scheduling it up front. So continuing on number 8, some practitioners offer the discount on the last treatment also. We prefer to set appointments and get paid right up front because it makes our life so much easier. Number 9, does your area have an equestrian directory? This is a great place to get ideas and a great place to advertise too. And a great place to get all of the contacts that are in there and put them in your CRM. Number 10, do a presentation on PMF for your local riding club, pony club, all those different clubs, horse clubs. Most are looking for interesting and informative events for their members. Do a demo equine session for the group and let everyone else try it. And then you can even offer a club discount or a group discount. Number 11, create a flyer or postcard and post it wherever you can. Look for bulletin boards at barns, tack stores, feed stores, grocery stores, health food stores, post offices, and libraries. We share ideas in our practitioner resources. Sherry was famous for this, is driving around with a bunch of our flyers, and every time she would see a bulletin board or whatever, she'd run in and post it up there. We got a lot of business that way. Number 12, contact your local large and small animal veterinarians and let them know you're offering PMF, how it can detect soreness, like mystery lamenesses, and accelerate healing. We generally don't rely on the vets for a large amount of referral business because they most of the time see themselves as competitors. But once you break into them and they really see the benefits there, it can be a great source of business. Number 13, set up a booth at local events and offer PMF sessions. This could probably be in the events section, but this is a good one because you can get out into the community and start really pulsing people and getting your word out. Number 14, support fundraisers. Donate free pulse sessions for silent auctions. This is a great one because you also get to go to the silent auction. We've done this a lot, and you'd be surprised at the people that you'll get and treat, and then they usually want to buy a lot more packages. Number 15, offer gift certificates during holidays and for birthdays. Number 16, don't forget canine activities and groups, dog agility trials, dog shows, etc. And local athletic events for people too. Just when I'm saying that, my dog starts snoring. Marathons, bike races, sports teams. There's a lot of bike races in our area, and if you can go and set up a booth or a tent at the end, it's a great way to do that. You can offer 20-minute treatments for people, and they really see the difference in their recovery. Number 17, always text your clients after a pulse session. Ask how they or their horses feel. This is a great way to get feedback and testimonials. Ask to set up another appointment or ask for referrals. You can also do this as an automated email after you've done a treatment. Take a screenshot of the text that when you get back or the emails that you get back and use those for social media marketing. Number 18. This one kind of goes right along with that. You create a testimonial cheat sheet. You start a Word document called My Testimonials, and then you copy and paste your testimonials into this document. Pretty soon you're going to have them all in one place, and you can use it for marketing, social media, and to share with prospective clients. This really works great because then you keep everything in one place, and when you need a testimonial, you just go to this sheet and look down the ones that look best and copy and paste it right in there. So section number 2, social media. We've had the best luck with Facebook and Instagram, so we're going to focus mainly on these two. But there's also LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, and so many more. It's ridiculous. While there are so many more activities you could be doing on the social media front, I highly recommend that you stay focused on one or maybe two of these and become really, really good at them before you do others. It's much better to be really good at one and get lots of leads and have a great system for one, like Facebook. Facebook and Instagram kind of go hand in hand. But get those two going, and a lot of times you won't need to do something else, and you can spend your time treating horses or people or taking some time off. The first one we're going to start on is the Facebook business page. Now, you want to have a business page, not your personal page. You want to set up your own Facebook business page, and if you need to learn how to do that, just let us know. We're going to have a video on that, on step-by-step instructions on how to do that. So 19, post pictures and videos. Videos, just real quick on videos, Facebook is really encouraging the use of videos, and they really are going after YouTube. Facebook puts preferred placement for anything that has videos, and you can then also create an audience out of the people that watch your videos. So make sure pictures always increase the engagement of a post by like dramatically, a crazy amount. So Sherry always says if you do a post without pictures, you might as well just even forget it. So post the pictures and the videos of you pulsing horses, happy clients, testimonials, information about PMF and shows or events that you're going to be attending. Always include your contact information. And when we get you set up with a lead capture system, a way that they can either contact you by email, phone, or some way that you can get their contact information. So you want to make sure that you give them your contact information and that you can get theirs. So you can be creative, and as always, include pictures or videos. So what's the best time to post? Sherry says 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. and Sunday evenings. I also think Saturdays like around 5 o'clock, because a lot of people between Saturday night and Sunday morning look at their Facebook. 21 is post other interesting, entertaining, or informative things that would appeal to your clients. This is a really good thing because you don't want to be posting the same thing over and over and over again, always making it about getting a pulse, getting a PMF session. People really want to look at interesting things, so you can post things that have different interests but still related to your business. Things that are funny also is a big thing, and things that are inspiring. Those things really help drive engagement. And then the biggest thing you want to be doing is once you get engagement, you want to be asking questions and then responding to those questions and then asking more questions. Facebook puts a huge emphasis and will really keep your post going if there's engagement. That's what they're looking for, is engagement. So if you answer a question, try to put another question at the end of it so that they come back to you. If you go back and forth a couple of times, Facebook loves that, and you'll see your posts will be hanging around a lot more, getting a lot more interest. So number 22, set a personal goal to post at least once per day. Most marketing experts suggest 3 to 4 times per day, but this is a great place to start. Just do it. It takes a few minutes, and you can reuse posts and testimonials. Don't go crazy with this and start posting all the time. One thing you got to keep in mind is that Facebook's algorithm has changed dramatically over the last couple of years so that it really favors people that do paid ads, boosted posts. But one thing this is really good at is finding out what posts are resonating with your audience. So when you find a post that is really resonating, is getting a lot of engagement, those are the ones that you want to spend some money on and boost. The only way that you can do this is really by throwing a lot of ideas out there and seeing which ones stick. And then you do more of the ones that get engagement and you forget the ones that don't. And when you get a good one, keep it going. And you can make little changes that will also come back and create more good ones. So that's the strategy on doing these posts. Number 23, research and join community groups and equestrian groups. There are all kinds of Facebook groups focusing on certain areas, specific equestrian disciplines, etc. Check the rules of the group to see what's allowed. And this is great free advertising. Let people know about what you're offering and where you'll be next. Post regularly in groups. And this is another way that I like to use our spreadsheet or our customer relationship management. I create a spreadsheet where you cut and paste the link to these groups in a spreadsheet, and then you keep track of when you posted them. So one column will be the link, next column would be the name, another column would be the when you posted it, and then what your post was named, so that you can keep track. And then what you do is you just, when you get a great post, then you just go all the way down the list and just click on the link, post it in there, go to the next one, click on the link, and post it in there, and then you'll see the results. This was really the first major breakthrough that we had in marketing to Facebook. I remember we were just about to go down to Wellington, and Sherry posted the very first Dreaming of a Career with Horses ad in some groups, and we had been getting like 1 or 2 leads, maybe 1 or 2 leads a week even. It was very slow. Well, one Saturday night, she posted in a bunch of groups. The next morning, we woke up and we had 68 responses of people saying that they were interested and they wanted more information. So it just kind of blew our mind, and that's when we really started doing groups. So you'll find that groups are a great source, but you want to keep track of them, and you want to do it in a very standardized and systematic way. Then you'll really, this is a great source of free advertising. Number 24 is create your own Facebook group. This is where you get to make the rules, and you get to say what is and is not allowed. This is also a way that you can really bond with your tribe, with your list. If you start creating your own list and you start inviting people to come to your Facebook group, in the Facebook groups, you can start doing Facebook Lives, and you can start doing videos, and you can really start creating yourself as an authority and develop a great relationship with your customer base. So this is a really good one. Number 25, invite friends to like your Facebook page. Make this a regular practice as you get more friends on your personal page. And there's this little area that just off to the right, it'll say invite your friends. And you click on this and you just go down and scroll down and invite your friends. The more friends you have, obviously, the more you're going to be able to do, but this is a great reason to have a lot of friends. This is one of the things that I did really early on, and now I've got like 4,000 friends, and so most of our likes well, I shouldn't say most of them, but a lot of our likes, especially early on, came from this. And then the other thing that Sherry is famous for doing is that anytime you get some engagement in one of your posts, there's another little button that you can click and it will see whether or not you're friends to those people or not. Like if they engage or make comments, you click on the list and the list will drop down and it will show you whether or not they're friends or if they like your page. If they don't, you can send them an invite. This is a really great way to really grow your likes without spending money. Number 26, create a post on your page and on your friends' pages asking them to like your page and then share it with their friends. And it's because this is all about networking. So this is another great way to grow. Another cheap way to get a lot of likes is just to do some paid ads that specifically are for liking your page. For like $20, you can get 400 or 500 likes if you do it right. So like the Facebook pages of the trainers and potential clients in these horse show venues, tax stores, etc., and do a visitor post on their page. So this is when you're going around to all the different places and you're getting their names. You go on there, and included in your customer relationship management would be their Facebook. This is where you just click on that and stay actively involved in their page, because don't forget, they like to have people posting stuff on their page. You just can't be too obnoxious about it. Number 28, Facebook friend potential clients. This is probably one of the biggest secrets and the secret to how I was able to connect with Margie Engel. And if you don't know Margie Engel, she's a real rock star when it comes to horse shows. 10-time horse person of the year, and has won just about everything you can win in show jumping. Is just a total legend, and I tried for literally a couple of years to try to contact her and connect with her at the horse shows, and her people would just siphon me away and never let me even close. Well, one day I said, hey, I'm going to like Margie Engel, and I liked her, and she accepted my friend request, and then I messaged her and told her about PMF, and that we'd like to treat her and her husband and her horses, and we eventually did, and she became one of our sponsored riders. So it's amazing the people that you can connect with when you like them. And, let's face it, all they can do is say no. So number 29, boost posts and create Facebook ads. Now, this we could probably spend an entire training session on, and we will. But this is very easy to do, and you target your market and set your budget. You want to start out with boosted or with posts, free posts that did well, and really have your message refined before you start spending money on Facebook. This is something that we'll go into in a lot more detail, a real specific way to do this and be successful. If you are not 100% sure on your message and your picture and your audience, you can waste a lot of money. So those are the three main ingredients in any boosted post or Facebook ad. There's your message, which is the headline and the text. Then there's the picture, and then or the video, and then there's the audience. If you're a practitioner and you're wanting to do your general area, you can do a 25 to 50 mile radius and target people that love horses, and you're not going to be too far off. Then the next thing is really getting your message and your picture. Just to give you an idea on how important the picture is, we did so many different pictures on our Dreaming of a Career with Horses campaign. And the best picture by far that always outperformed everything else was the picture with Samantha and Bagheera, where she's staring at Bagheera's face and got the loops over his head, and she's got this yellow shirt on. For some reason, that yellow shirt and the black horse just always outperformed every single thing else we could do. And so you took the picture with her phone. Just one day she just like snapped it, and like, oh, okay, there we go. So once we realized that that was a great picture, then we really started experimenting with different headlines. And Dreaming of a Career with Horses and that yellow shirt picture of Sam were like the combination that really just catapulted us into, tremendous responses from Facebook. So that's what you want to find. You really want to experiment with the different things. You can do that at a very, very, very small amount of money. And then once you find one that works, then you add more money to it and then try to duplicate it. Until you find one that really works, you don't want to spend a lot of money on it, though. So section number 2, Instagram page. This is the Instagram business page. This is super easy to set up in Instagram because basically if you set it up in Facebook, they just say, hey, you want to advertise on Instagram too? But Instagram is really good for the younger clients, and it's been a great source of business for us. Instagram really is all about posting pictures and videos and using hashtags. I got to admit, I don't even get the hashtag thing, but Sherry is in on it. So hashtags are searchable keywords and phrases that people can search on to find a post about a specific topic or event. So if you're attending a show or an event, check out what their hashtag is and what they're using. So as an example, the Rolex Kentucky 3-day event uses a hash mark thing, RK3DE, in all their posts. So you can use them in yours too. People that search on that hashtag, they're going to find your posts too, and you can just surf right along their traffic. So number 32, create your page and then follow and comment on other Instagram accounts. The more you follow and comment on other pages, the more they're going to find you. So number 33, you can easily link your Facebook and Instagram accounts. In fact, it's like you almost have to do it. When you create an Instagram post, it offers the option to share it on your Facebook page too. And then when you create a Facebook ad, they'll say, hey, don't you want to share it on your Instagram? And for almost no more money, you can get it on Instagram. Instagram has a little bit different formats, so you want to check out the formats, the size of the pictures. Generally, if it works on Facebook, it'll also work on Instagram. Instagram is much more of picture-oriented. It's much more story-oriented, and the people that get that on that, they're much more engaging, but not as much buying as they are on Facebook. So that's kind of the difference of the two. So just looking at this gives me a headache, all these hashtags and stuff, but here's a whole sample of hashtags. And you could really go on and on and on. The whole idea is to be creative, have fun, find out what works, do more of it. If it doesn't work, stop doing it. So here's section 3. The horse shows and the events. Attending shows and events is a great way to get new clients and be exactly where you want to be, at a horse show. We started out by doing PMF therapy at shows where our daughter was competing, and it was a way for us to pay our show bills, and it took us to some of the most fun places. We've been all over the place. We've been to California, we've been to Canada, we've been all over the East Coast. We've really been all over the country, seen some great things, met a lot of great people that we would never have met otherwise, and have had so much fun. So the horse show circuit is also a great one, but you can also do other events too. And there's all kinds of special interest events that you can get into. The biggest thing is that once you get into a community, and I don't care if it's, chess, or I'm trying to think of any kind of, weird community that's out there, Star Trek fans or whatever. If you know the language and you know it and you're passionate about it, you can go and set up your booth and start treating people, and 1 out of 3 people are in pain, and you will be able to do business there. The biggest thing that we've been great about horse shows is that we love going to horse shows, and we love the horse show people, and we love showing horses, and we love being around horses. So for us, it's just a natural. But there's also dog shows, and there's all kinds of stuff. So do what really rocks your boat and have fun with it. So once you get a client list going, you can just text them, let them know you're going to be at this show, and then if they would like to get on your schedule before it fills up. This is one of the key things about having a customer relationship management system that syncs to your phone. When you start accumulating these contacts, it becomes so easy once you go. Because when you go to a show and when you go to events, you're going to start seeing the same people over and over again. And so you can text them, hey, are you here at the, at the show? We're here, you want to schedule an event. And you'll not believe how much easier it gets once you have your list and you get your list growing. And so what you do in the beginning of the show, you go around and you get everybody's information. And then you save that into your customer relationship manager. And life becomes so much easier once you do that. So you can find the schedule for area shows and events for all equestrian disciplines and determine which ones you'd like to attend. Some of our practitioners travel all around the country attending shows and offering PMF. And you can go to a show just about anywhere around the country any weekend you want. So once you decide to attend a show, promote that you're going to be there on your Facebook page and in groups and on the show's Facebook page. This is really important. This will really help to establish you as an authority. They'll start seeing you. Oh, yeah, I saw your post. Oh, yeah, now I know you're here. And then you text them. And then they see your post, you text them, you leave a brochure. Pretty soon they're seeing you everywhere, and your phone will ring off the hook. Another great one, this is one that we did, that we got so many great responses from. Use your PMF system like a mini billboard and create the suggested signs or make your own and adhere to them to your system. Make sure you include your logo and your phone number in big enough letters so that people can read them as they're walking by. I can't tell you how many people called me up. They would walk by the stall. My machine would be sitting right outside the stall, and I'd be in there pulsing. And you'd see these people would walk by, and they'd be kind of looking at your machine, looking at you like, yeah, what is that? And I'd say hi, but they would ignore me. And then they just keep walking. And then all of a sudden, they'd kind of walk back again, and they'd be looking down at the machine, like, what is that? What is that? And then next thing I know, I get a call or a text. Hey, I saw you over in stall 38. Can you come and do my horse next? And this just happens over and over again. People are much more likely to call or text. Make sure your phone number is your mobile phone number. They were much more likely call or text off of your machine than it is to walk up with you. I don't know why it is, but it's true. At least early on, we really don't recommend getting a booth at horse shows or even events, but especially in the beginning. First, it costs a lot of money. And second, you need to have somebody there and with the PMF system in your booth. And you can't be out at the show doing treatments and in the booth at the same time. So this may be a good idea down the road, and if you partner with another practitioner or get a second system. We did this in Wellington, where Sherry would be in our tent and I would be out doing horses. It really works great when you're doing that, but it's a major commitment because you have to be in that tent from early in the morning until end of the night, and it's a big time commitment, and it's also very expensive. It's a lot more profitable just to walk around with your machine and get treatments and go right into their stall to do the treatments. Number 40, contact the show organizers. Some shows you really don't want to because then they might want to charge you. But most show organizers are really cool about it. You can just bill yourself as an amenity to their show. And once they get to know you, they know you are. They know people will love your treatments. So then you can find out if you can offer a free pulse session as one of the prizes for the winners. We also used to do for the losers, like the person in last place gets a free treatment. Then you find out where they're advertising or the sponsorship opportunities, and you can a lot of times, so many times, except for their very, very big shows. Even then, you can offer a package of 10 treatments that you can offer the show that they can give out as prizes in return for $1,000 worth of advertising. And that might get you a 4-color full-page brochure or, a picture in their magazine. So it might also get you some preferred placements on your signage. So find out if there's a competitor's package you can put your brochure in, or however way that you can get involved. Then you're like a sponsored. It's so much better to go into a show into the front door than try to sneak around the back and sneak your way in. If they don't want you there, they're going to throw you out anyway, so you might as well figure it out and then and move on. It's always a good idea to try to call the show organizer beforehand if you have a question as to whether or not they're going to let you in. Some of the bigger shows, you're not going to have a problem. But if you're going there for the first time and you're traveling a long way, I'd call. Number 41, once you're at the show, if it is allowed, like it's not allowed at WEF, this is like Sherry's favorite thing. She posts her flyers on postcards on bulletin boards, barn aisles, and yes, inside the bathroom, the porta potties and the bathroom stalls. I used to hate doing this. I thought, there's no way, we don't want to have our brochures sitting in the porta potties. This is not the thing that I wanted to have. But when we were down in Ocala, we were literally like right across from the porta potties. And even though I objected, Sherry went in there and pasted them all over the porta potties, put in a bunch of brochures that people would pick up. And I can't tell you how many times women would walk out of the porta potties reading one of our brochures, walk right up to us and go, hey, what's this all about? Can I get Pulse too? So from then on, I was like, okay, yeah, I guess this actually works. So you think about it, you have a captive audience. So, and they're looking for something to read. So it's a good idea. And in Kentucky, it was phenomenal. I put the flyers right on the post going into the bathrooms. And every time I would do that, I'd have a phenomenal show. So number 42, find out who's competing at the show or the event. Sometimes it's really easy and you can get a list of competitors in the show office or on their website. Sometimes you have to do a little detective work and look for a stabling list, or you go right down the stable and the trainer's name off the stall drapes, or you see it on their tack trunks or on their emergency contact information. That's always a good one because they put their cell number on there. So they put the main trainer, who's usually the decision maker if it's a bigger barn, and they put their cell number. Just write that down or take a quick picture if you're not good with writing. And like me, I write it down and I get back and I can't read it. So I just take a picture of it and then I go back and I just put those right into your customer relationship managers. So there's even a program now that I believe it can pull the name and phone number and email if it's on there right off of a picture and put it right into your CRM. So so you want to add these to your CMS. You really want to spend as much time as you can any time that you go out there and get your names. If you don't put them into your CRM list and start using it that way, it's just a one-shot deal. So you spend all this time and effort going out there and getting the names, and then if they don't do anything this show, you're done. If you haven't recorded it, once you restart recording it, then they see you over and over and over again, and your odds of doing business with them increases dramatically the more they see you and the more they understand what you do. So, number 43, you can contact the trainers and competitors several ways. Start by walking around the barns, especially first in the morning of the show, and then handing out your postcards, or we have these flyers, the flyers that are on nice cardstock that are 2 on an 8.5, two images up on an 8.5 by 11. So those are the absolute best. We go and pass those out and everything in the beginning of the show. And then we ask, hey, have you ever tried pulse magnetic therapy? I'm doing PMF here at this show. And then if they've ever tried it, they say yes or no. If they say no, we say, boy, you really should. And then you go into your elevator speech. If they say yes, you go, hey, how did it go for you? If they say, oh, well, I tried it, but you probably tried it with somebody who didn't really know what they're doing. I am certified by the Drugless Practitioner Academy, and I want to show you how it can really help you. And so you really want to get involved in the conversations. And so from there, we used to have a thing. I would go around the barns, and Sam actually ended up going around the barns too. We go around the barns in the beginning, and then Sherry would go and start doing the posting and the private messaging, and I would get some people, and she would get some people, and they would be completely different people. Some people you can reach going around the barns and leaving postcards and contacting them. Other people, you'll never get a hold of them. The only way you'll ever get a hold of them is through private messaging them and texting them. And so those people, they actually enjoy, they prefer you to text them or to private message them. I don't know what it is, but it usually goes one way or the other, and when you try both of them, you literally are more than doubling your chances of success. So number 44, like their business Facebook pages and create a post on their page. So they're wanting people to post stuff that is relevant to their customers too, and as long as you're not being totally obnoxious and you have something that is really of interest to horse people, which if you're keeping track of your posts and your Facebook ads, you'll know, hey, this is something that people really like to watch. And it could be something that is not specifically related to you, but will get your name out there and establish you as an authority. Like Sherry did this whole thing on this one-eyed horse, the one-eyed horse that was in the Kentucky Derby. I can't remember his name, like Patches or something like that. But she posted this thing on him and got so many responses. It was crazy. So many people were liking it, following it, and all that stuff. And then turned out that he was actually getting treated. And so the story came around to us. But it really got our name connected with somebody it was just a good story. We also had a huge following when we videoed Scott Brash winning the Triple Crown up in Spruce Meadows, Canada. We videoed that, and like overnight we got like 90,000 views. And that just like catapulted our page into, tons and tons of likes out of that. So it's always interesting to just see what's going to go viral and what is not. Just before we get go on that, I've got a little poster on my wall that the traits of virality, or what makes it go viral. The first one is telling a story. And the next one is making people laugh. And then the third one is challenge or confirm people's assumptions. It's best when you're challenging their assumptions. And then utilize trending topics. So if you see a topic that's really trending, sometimes you can take that same topic and change it a little bit, like so it's regarding horses, or just change it a little bit so it's maybe more in line with your interests, and it will take off just like the one that was going viral was. And then the other one is to inspire people to take action. This is one of my favorites. And then to have unexpected twists. This is like if you're watching it and you're thinking, oh yeah, I know what's going to happen, and then something totally different happens. And then have a fresh point of view, even about common things. This is really a very powerful thing. And then the last one is to have an underdog story. And when you're working with people that are injured, horses that are injured, there's really no greater underdog story than seeing an injured horse that will gets a miraculous treatment and then comes back and lives a good life, or goes on to compete, or whatever. So those are traits of virality, and those make the best Facebook posts and stories. So when you see those, grab them and share them. All right, on Facebook you can private message someone even if you aren't friends. It may show up for them as a message request, but go ahead and let them know you're at the show. And then you want to send them a friend request as well. So sending them a friend request and then private messaging them, that's a good thing, because once they accept your friend request And most people do. They accept your friend request and then you message them. They're like, they recognize the name. Oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, okay. That's a really, really good strategy. Like I said, some people love to be PM'd, other people don't. And then 46, sponsored top riders. Really, the best way to do that is to offer them free pulse sessions in exchange for getting testimonials and their social media posts and referrals. Make sure that you are getting something in return and that you're getting something in return of equal value, because you've got something that is very valuable. So here we come on to the bonus section, where I put my salesman hat on, and I want to talk to you about the client attraction system. We've been talking about it all video long, about putting things into your customer relationship management system or your list, but this is where really your business can take on a much more predictable and consistent way. I'm a big believer in creating systems. That's how we created the PMF protocol. I like systematizing things. If you do things in a random way, you get random results, and then you never know what's working and what's not. And my whole philosophy is you do more of what's working, you stop doing what's not. And if you're doing things randomly, how do you even know? When you have your customer relationship manager, this allows you to build your business and benefit from all the activities we've just been talking about. And then you sync them with your phone, computer, and you have them online. So even if you lose your computer, lose your phone, you can get online, go to Google, and you can still have all of your information right there. I don't know how many times people are like, oh my God, I lost my phone and all my contacts in my phone, all my pictures and everything. Well, nowadays, you don't even need to have that, because everything can go into your Google Drive, have Google Photos, and your Google spreadsheet with all your contact information in there. So I've got a great system that we can put together for you that show you exactly how to do that. And then number 48 is to create a lead capture system for your website and your Facebook page that will feed your CRM and keep your business growing on autopilot. There is an actual button right on your Facebook page that says, hey, you want to learn more, email me, whatever. They push that button, and you can get somebody to just send you an automatic email where you capture their information and then send them back a nice welcome letter that says everything that they need in order to do business with you. We can automate that whole process. So it doesn't even matter where you are, what you're working, if you're standing in front of a horse. So you can be staying in touch with your prospects. So number 49 is stay in touch with your prospects and clients with email, texting, private messaging, and have automated replies to your leads. So, and this was like our mantra. This is what we really wanted to have. So while you work and while you play, by night or by day, you'll always have clients coming your way. When you set up this client attraction system, this has worked for us like crazy. This is what really has made the difference between us, starting at zero every day, going out trying to find things, or having a repeated, consistent business that really runs on autopilot and makes you money while you're sleeping. There's nothing better than waking up in the morning and then having people say, hey, I want schedule appointments, and they have your phone and your email is already lighting up. So, and then last but not least, what are your intentions? What are your expectations? And what are your goals? We strongly believe that your thoughts create your reality, and change your thoughts and you can change your life. If you're thinking the same thoughts, you're going to have the same life. Time and time again, we've seen the truth of this manifest in our own life. It's all about your energy and your intentions. And our intention is to have a positive, simple, happy, extremely successful business helping people and animals. And we're here living that intention. And you are benefiting from that and sharing in that. And we want to share that with you. So you've got your own reasons for starting your business. And what do you want your days and your life to be like? So think about what you want and talk about what you want and figure out your personal intentions and goals. and then write them down in a positive statement or affirmation. I actually like to read this affirmation in the morning and at night, and I found that when I do that, my life becomes much more orderly and predictive and a lot less reactionary. So if you read this daily and focus on the feelings will manifest. So our little grandson, he told us one day that we need to feel our dreams. I can't remember exactly how he said it, but yeah, that we need to feel our dreams. If you expect to be a success and believe it's possible, you're going to be amazed at the way the universe will support you and conspire to bring it to you. And so will we. So the one last little recommendation we have is that we highly recommend you read the Wishes Fulfilled book by Dr. Wayne Dyer. I've read it several times. Sherry's read it several times. I've actually read the 3 books that he read and meditated on for a year before he wrote the book. And I can just tell you that it's a foundation for our life. It has really just made a huge difference in helping us think about what we want and talk about what we want and then get what we want. Wishes Fulfilled, it's a great book. Dr. Wayne Dyer, if you don't know him already, he's somebody that you could read all his books. He's got tons of books. He's died a couple of years ago, but he has books, videos, all kinds of stuff, and they really are great. So thank you very much for staying with me on this 50 tips to market your PMF practice. And now we're going to turn this over to questions. So any questions you've got, start typing them in there, and we're going to be happy to go over them. And thank you so much. All right. What are your questions? All right. One of the questions that I had, I wrote down my 3 things that I thought were the big things. But what was your number one thing? Write down there what your number one thing is that you think you want to do this week, and that would make the most benefit and make the biggest impact for your business. Did something jump out at you guys? Let's hear what they are. Unless you guys have all fallen asleep behind your screens. Everybody's turned off and muted. I can unmute everybody. Because, hi, Veronica.
Hi, Veronica. How are you?
Good. So, Veronica, what was one thing that we're getting like a feedback? What was the one thing that you felt like would benefit your business the most?
Like you said, working on the elevator speech and the pricing and talking to people. As far as I was looking at some of the stuff you were saying about the shows, and when you go into the stables, because like I said, we'll be going to the different tracks. So my thing is that I'm just keeping everything down so I feel confident that I'm not stumbling. So looking at some of the things that were in there, I wrote a few notes down here that I like to work on that way as far as let me do this. Okay. We're going to be doing some of the seminars at the farmers market in May. So I'm going to start working on trying to get some of that stuff going, because I didn't, think about really, I'm trying to get the face, our businesses right now working on this. I have to work on this to get it going so that I can put this behind me and work on going out, like you said, we went to some feed stores, and they told us to bring some flyers in. I'm working on my logo right now. That's going in the process. She hasn't contacted me yet, so I'm kind of like in a little puddle right now. Oh, unmute, John.
You've got that big racetrack there that really could be a tremendous source of business for you.
Well, we have Santa Anita, we have Los Alamitos for quarter horses, we have Del Mar. Those are the ones that are around us, towards San Diego. So that's the ones we're going to be working on. But like I said, I've just been working on my logos and to get that on this, I can put it on my Facebook and my business, and then I can have Mark's going to start doing some of the intro stuff for that, for the website. And that's kind of my dilemma. That's I'm working with a lady right now to get that done.
Yeah.
And I think
the thing that I would suggest is get the brochure that is an 8.5 by 11. It has 2 images that you can cut in half, put a nice cardstock, and go around to those pick a racetrack and just walk around on the backside and hand those out to the trainers. Just walk through the shed rows and just hand those out, and you'll be surprised how much business you get with that.
Well, right now, I have my cousin used to work at Los Alamitos as a trainer. And so he knows a lot of the main trainers right now. So he referred me to a couple of people, but he went down and got stem cells right now. He was getting stem cells treatment. So we're treating him with the PMF and stem cells, which is really helping him because he ended up with CPOD. And so he went down to get, I guess they gave him another injection. And so we continue pimping him so it would oxygenate those cells. When in just January 1st, we went to a seminar in Vegas about stem cells and PMF. And actually Pulse Centers was there too. And we got a lot of information on that. So it's supposed to really help with stem cells. But I have to wait till he comes back, because for some reason I can't get a hold of the trainer right now. He's on this, with all this track stuff, we're doing a lot of investigation and checking the horses out and stuff. So I'm kind of on a hold on that right now, but I'm thinking about like all the other stuff you were talking about, the different shows, and we figured the farmer markets, and we have a postmaster. She said she would pass out 300 flyers for us for free. And she said she didn't have in our area just to get it. So we have a lot of seniors, a lot of 100-year-old homes here. So hopefully that's going to really perk things up too.
Yeah, that would be great.
And then we're thinking about joining the Elks Lodge. So
yeah, just really try to focus down on 3 things, prioritize them and get 3 things really going, and then branch out beyond that. But yeah, you had a whole bunch of good things there. So
yeah. Now, John, on the pricing, I saw the pricing there. I was trying to write it down real fast. I didn't think I got it all. Now, when you guys do the pricing, do you I think it was like 3 treatments of, was it 30 minutes for $250 or hour treatments?
Yeah, usually it's $100 for 1, $250 for 3 if they pay up front and schedule it up front.
And then you're doing 5 for $500. Now, would you give them, a discount? Yeah, a discount on that. I asked about the pricing. It kind of went way over there, but the discounts. You don't believe that a big discount, or give them like 1 free treatment to do, or give the trainer a free treatment if you.
Giving the trainer a free treatment for every 5 or 6 that they bring into you is a really good thing. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
If you can get a trainer, yeah, if you do that, the trainers, if you can find the trainer that has their own horses and wants to get it done and has paying clients, that's like the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, because that's when we went there the other day to train him, but he forgot that we were coming, and he was at the feed store, so we missed him. So I was like, I said, okay. I said, well, he says, call me back. But I told my Mark, I said, let's just wait till my Pepe comes, because he knows him really well. And it might be better us going in there with him.
Yeah, you just got to keep going back at it. That's what you just got to keep going. Yeah. And Becky's saying she wants to work on her elevator speech and figure out where I can go to the show season and make contact with trainers in the area. If you want to make contact with trainers in the area, really the best thing to do would be to go out and do a demo. Try to set it up so that you can do a demo with 2 horses, and then but you got to make sure that the trainer is there, and try to do it in the afternoon when other people are going to be there, and then tell the trainer, that you'd be happy to do other horses. The first 2 will be, for a demo and no charge, but then after that, it's $100 a horse. And you'll see people will get lined up. And then you follow that right up with the next day with finding out how they felt after they were ridden. Make sure the horses are ridden the next day, and say, and that ask for some feedback, and when the best time is to come back and schedule a time, and then you come right back in the barn, and people will start talking about it, and you'll get. Sometimes it starts out kind of slow. You'll maybe 1 or 2 people, but by the time you're done doing the 1 or 2 people, a lot of times a couple other people will come and say, "Hey, can you do my horse too?" So that's a great way to build your business, especially if it's a local thing. And then you make make those big barns kind of a regular trip, and then you fill in around that. That to me is one of the best strategies for building your local business, is finding out who the big barns are, the big trainers are, and just contacting them and getting in and doing a demo. But you have to do the demo so it's really when there are going to be people there, and the trainer's going to be there, and it's going to be 2 horses that are kind of visible. In every big barn, there's always a couple of the riders, the amateur riders, that have a lot of money, and they want to do what's absolute best for their horse, and they talk to everybody that's there. Those are the people you really want to work on and do a demo with. Otherwise, you can always and then bring plenty of those flyers and brochures.
Okay.
Talking about confidence in approaching people, though, there's a couple different ways that you can approach that. And I don't know, have you guys heard my bee story yet?
No.
Have I told my bee story?
No.
No, this might be the time to tell the bee story. Oh, there's a new message. Hold on, let me just see. Okay, yeah, so I'm going down. So my bee story, and you can think about this when you're going out there to talk to people and you're feeling bad. First off, it's natural to feel bad that people reject you, but people, there's a very small percentage of people that really want and need and are ready to buy your product, and you really have to just go in. It's the law of numbers. You just have to go through and keep looking for the people that are wanting it and needing it and can afford to pay for it. And the people that can't, you just can't feel bad about it. You just have to go on. And it's nothing that you're doing wrong. But I was sitting here one day, sitting out at the barn, listening to my horses eat their hay after feeding them. And it was a nice warm evening. And there was this bees that were coming by, and this one bee comes up and goes up to the post and is like buzzing around the post, and then it goes up to our chicken coop and is buzzing around the chicken coop, and then it goes up to the barn, it's kind of buzzing around the barn, comes up to me, and then beside me there's this big flower pot filled with flowers and everything, and then it gets to the flower pot and it's like and it goes and goes to each flower and gets all its pollen, and then it just like boom takes off right back across the yard, evidently back to its hive. And I watched several bees do that same thing, and I'm like, that's what sales is all about. That is sales. you just have to keep looking for your pollen, and you have to keep looking for the people that want it and need it and can afford it. And bees, what would happen if bees got discouraged? They come up to the first post, are you my pollen? No, you're not my pollen. Oh, there's no pollen here. And they just get dejected and go back to the hive, and they go back to the hive. Oh, there's no pollen out there. Nobody, I can't find any pollen anywhere, No, they go, sometimes they travel 3 to 5 miles to find pollen, and they just keep looking for their pollen. And then when they find it, they get it, and then back to the hive they go. And that's what sales is all about. You just got to keep looking for your pollen and just keep going around looking. Are you my pollen? Are you my pollen? Are you my pollen? And if you're going into your horse shows or the racetracks, that's what you got to be doing. You just going around with your brochures. Leave a brochure when you can, because you never know when someone's going to pick it up and go, hey, this, they may have been busy with it when you were there or not there, but off at the feed store or whatever. And then they get back and they're like, wow, what's this PMF stuff? Man, we should take a look at that. And they'll call you. So you never know when that's going to happen. By leaving your brochures, you increase your chances. And by going back again and again and again, you increase your chances, more and more and more. And the more time people see you, the more your chances increase. But what you're really looking for are just those people that say, hey, yeah, I want to try it. And just like the bee, like they'll keep looking and keep looking and keep looking and not get dejected, but just keep going until they find their pollen. And then once they find their pollen, it's like, yay. So that's what sales is really all about. It's just like your bee, a little bee out there going and finding your pollen and keep going, and don't take it personally. Just every no. I used to do this with sales calls and cold calling. Cold calling is a real tough way to make a living, and you just got to keep picking the phone up and calling and calling and calling. But then eventually you find it, and it's the law of numbers. You will find a percentage of people that you talk to are going to say yes, and so you're just getting through all the no's to find the yeses, and the no's are just as important as the yeses, because every no that you go through is another person you're closer to finding the yes. And you will go through some slumps and some hot spots, but generally it will average out. And so what we've done is, with all of our marketing stuff, is found ways to increase those odds, but you still have to go through. Not everybody is going to want to do PMF. It's just a fact. And not everybody that wants PMF is ready to do PMF. That's just a fact too. So you just have to keep going. So that's my little bee story. The one thing that I have to say, since I did that video, the one thing that has really is, I don't know if it's just like this fad now, or if it is actually a bona fide trend, but Facebook messaging is really hot right now. Facebook has taken the Facebook messaging and WhatsApp, and I think that there's a third one. I'm not really sure what it is, but they have basically combined all those apps. And so your Facebook Messenger address book can also work in WhatsApp. They're basically making them, they're still separately run apps, but they are making them so that they work more together. As a result, it's getting a lot more play. And there are certain people that absolutely just like to be messengered, and messaging is a fact that people respond to messaging in a really high percentage rate. And if people are Facebook messengers, they respond. And so if right now, it is a really, really, really good strategy to, no matter if you're doing it in a local area and finding out who all the local big players are in your market, or if you're going around to horse shows have about the same people all the time. If you go to enough horse shows in a particular discipline, like eventing or show jumping or dressage or whatever, or breed shows, you will eventually see just about the same crowd. So the whole idea of it is to try to get your list and keep working your list. So when you go through a show, you really go through and you find out who those people are that are there. You try to leave a brochure for them. So that's one way of doing it. You try to talk to them. That's another way of doing it. Then you find out if you can get their cell phone, then you can be texting them. And then you need to get liking them on their Facebook and then private messaging them. If you can get them to like you on your Facebook page and then private message them, you have a really good chance. And all you need is a canned, you need a canned spiel that you put down, your three major benefits and the way for them to engage you. Here are the major benefits: improves performance, reduce sorenesses, accelerates healing, reduce recovery time. Whatever you think are the three best. Those are some that we used the most. And you say, I'm here doing PMF at the show. I see you're here too. Here's my phone number if you want to arrange a demonstration, if they're a big barn and you really want to get into them, or if you want to get your arrange for a treatment. I'll come to you. Here's my phone number. Text me now. I'm taking appointments. And just have that same basic thing. So you copy and paste it. So you're not spending time typing it. You just type it once, get it down so it's really good. Maybe put your, if you have a brochure, or a website URL, if you don't have a website, then leave your Facebook page so that they can go and click on a link and goes right to your Facebook page. So they see who you are and they go, okay, yeah, I'm going to private message them back and say, I want to set up an appointment. So the major thing when you're doing messaging is you want to put down your three big benefits, and you want to have a really strong call to action. A call to action is, call me. I'm taking appointments now. Call me today to schedule yours. And so you have the three benefits, you have your call to action, and you have the way for them they hit reply and you will get business. If you go to a show and you do those things, walk by, give off brochures, try to find cell phone numbers off of the emergency contact on the stalls, and then call them and text them, and then find out who's there and private message them and get them to do a friend request. If you do those things, you will get business. You for sure will have business. And it's the same exact process for racetracks. Racetracks, it's even better because those trainers are glued to their phones. Most of the time you may not be able to get a hold of them, but you will be able to either private message them, or you'll be able to text them if you get their number, or you can email them. So they will respond because that's their business. They are on their phones. So if I was going through a track, I would be definitely wanting to get the doing as much as I can to get trainers' cell phone numbers. And a lot of times, the guys, the grooms and stuff that are working there, or the assistants or whatever, if you just walk up to them like you are, you know what you're doing, and go, hey, is, Bobby Jones here? No, he's not. Oh, you look at your phone. What's his cell number? And you just go to make a contact and just start, and they'll give you his cell number. They'll just give you a cell number and just call them up. Hey, Bobby, I'm here at your barn. Do I do PMF? Do you want anything today? No, we don't. Yes, we do. you can really be that blunt, and they'll be like, PMF, what is that? Most of these people now know about that, and they'll more or less ask you if you know what you're doing, and you say, I'm certified, I've got training, and I can really help your horses, and then they'll give you a shot. So, Paula, you want to go to some hunter jumper barns and shows, and made the flyers. They post several places. Yeah, the big thing about the flyers is make them on hard enough cardstock so that they're not really flimsy paper. And then when you go to a show, put those everywhere. Put them everywhere. In the bathrooms, and leave them in people's tack stalls. Just walk around and distribute them a lot, and you'll find that by the end of the show, you'll be busy. You learn the paper versus cardstock the hard way, yeah. You want to go further into depth on how to set up auto responses and the content recommended to be in it. That's our whole course on how to develop your message and how to develop your unique benefit statements and the things that you do really, really well. The auto response. So what we have is an auto response is we have a 4 email series that goes out that tells them, number one, the first one is really is the first email really should tell them who you are, what you do, and how to contact you. And then the next one is really, so the questions that you should be asking them is that the first go around, they really want to know all about, who you are and what you're doing, and how it can solve their major benefit. If you're doing PMF, then it's really depending on if you're at a show or if you're doing people or horses or dogs, but how can it help them most likely get out of pain or improve their performance? If you're at a show, it's improving performance. And so how do you do that? And then as they get more understanding of, no, this PMF sounds like a good thing, then it's more like, how do you do it better than, why should I use you? And then when they get really very close to that, then it's, how do I do business with you? Then they start asking questions like, well, do you come to me? Do I go to you? How much do you charge? So you really want to have, there's really 3 main stages of buyers' intentions, where the first one is really researching more about the solution in general. The second one is really more researching their questions that they're asking revolve more around, okay, so now I'm pretty sure about PMF, but now how do I go about finding a practitioner? And then the third stage is really, all right, I'm really going to want to do this. Why should I choose you? And those are the questions that you should be answering in your do it. And the way that you answer it really is in your own unique way. And this is really the 7 steps that we go through in the in our online marketing foundations class. How you go about setting up an autoresponder is somewhat of a technical thing, but basically there are some Google apps combined with a Zapier automation tool that you can use, and you can actually have that Facebook button go to your email. The Zap automation takes the information from your email and puts it on your Google Sheets, and the Google Sheets then you can have a automatic email every time a new contact is put on your Google Sheets. A program, an add-on for Gmail will automatically send out a pre-written email or an email series. You can do up to 7 emails in a series, all at predetermined times. So, and that's the autoresponder process that we teach in the online marketing foundations class that is starting May 1st. It's the same format that we have here. It's an 8-week schedule, and it starts May 1st. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. Let's see what other, see if I missed. So Whitney's saying, maybe proud you're headed down the right road. Many of the topics I'm currently doing, and this is much needed confirmation. That's great. And Becky's wants to work on her elevator speech. The biggest thing you can do with your elevator speech really is rehearse it. And rehearse it in front of a mirror and really say it over and over and over in time until you get it really smooth. And the more that you practice it, the better you'll be when you get out in front of people and you get nervous. So it's a funny thing. That's why athletes practice, is so that it becomes much more common. But if you write it down and then start saying it, you want to get your 3 big benefits down, and you want to, you know, for me, it helps to write it all down and then kind of outline it, and then just keep reading it and 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 reading it, and then saying it in front of yourself in front of the mirror, and then you go out and, you know, go walk around a 2,000 horse show and tell it to every trainer that you can come in. By the end of the week, you'll have it down. You will not have to worry about it. You'll be saying it in your sleep. So any other questions? Oh, one thing that I wanted to ask was, yeah, so which one of these is your big tip that you are gonna do this week? Teresa, what is the tip that you're gonna do? That, come on, you guys, don't be shy. You turned off your video camera, so now you're just hiding behind that. There's Teresa. Yay, you're still muted. You're unmuted.
No, I'm not muted.
All right, now you are. Now you're good. So what, Teresa, are you going to do that this week that out of all those 50 things, what would be the one thing, the first thing that you're gonna want to focus in on?
Finishing up my client list, and then working on that elevator speech. I don't have too much of an issue being like super outgoing and abundant of energy when I go to events. You know, I'm pretty personable. I'll talk to just about anybody. Going to a show this weekend, and I already have good feelings. I already got a couple clients lined up. I'm just trying to fill in the rest of the dots to make it really worthwhile, and you know, maybe catch a couple more clients.
So this is the process that you go through when you go to a show. And you're a quarter horse person, right?
No, I'm an Arabian person. I do endurance racing.
Oh, Arabians.
So I was very proud of myself this last weekend. I was at Fairhill International in Maryland with my friend Mary, who's my business partner. We went to a ride. I rode her horse, but I was actually very happy and surprised that people are actually starting to understand that I'm actually really good at pinpointing lameness issues, what's going on, why it's going on. Because endurance is probably the most regulated sport out of all the sports. We have to go through mandatory vet checks every X amount of miles. You learn so much in endurance. So when I look at horses and I'm looking at them, I'm always super critical in my mind. about body position, how their face looks, how they move, how they stand. And so I got approached by a friend of mine who said her friend's horse that came with her all the way from Maine was sore in the back and wasn't going to start. And they asked if I would come over and look at it. And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I went over and ran my hands over the horse, had him trot it, did all that stuff, looked at it. And I said, well, there's a couple of things going on. You know, we went through the whole spiel. I said, if it was me, I would pulse the horse. I mean, one session's not going to do a whole lot, especially with a horse that came all the way from Maine. I said, but at least it will help us kind of pinpoint if I'm right or not about what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her the price, and I said, that's where I'm staying. That's my horse trailer over there if you want to come get me before 8 o'clock because I'm going to bed. So 20 minutes later, she came to my trailer with cash, said, please pulse my horse. And I did, and everything I said was correct about what was going on with the horse. Now, I got into an argument with the vets because they're all my friends, because once you're in the endurance world and you go to a lot of rides, you usually get a lot of the same vets. And I sat there and I kind of argued with them. I said, look, the machine said this, you're saying that, but I'm not seeing it. That's not what the machine said. And the machine never lies. I said, it can't lie and the horse can't lie. I said, this is what I found. And I personally think that the horse was in season because the horse came from a farm where it has no horses around it, none, zero. And then all of a sudden comes to a ride with 70 plus horses, and it automatically, immediately went into heat. And she was sore over that area. And when I pulsed her, all that came true. She went into immediate yawn, lick, chew, reflex, and stretching. And I'm like, well, if you have a horse that's a mare that's never around other horses, she's not going to cycle. But the minute you bring her around other horses, plus a trip from there to here, it was just a lot of, anyways, long story short, I was very happy that they actually came looking for me to actually help them diagnose issues. Not that I'm a vet, but I have a lot of visual education and experience in the world playing this.
You're not diagnosing, but yeah, this is what you're seeing. This is the machine is showing you. But so what you just need to do is you just need to get in front of more people. That's it.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to do.
You got the skills. So what you do is that all these people that you're used to seeing, make sure that they are in your phone, and that when you're going to these shows, as you're seeing them, even if you just walk by them, like, oh, text them, I'm here at the show, set up your appointment now. Here's my, here's how you contact me.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I'm telling you that is the way to do, because a lot of times, even when people will see you, but you're like, no, I don't, they don't really know how to get a hold of you or whatever. You text them or private message them. Right now, both of those you got to do both of them, because some people respond better to some ones and some people respond better to others. And if you do both of them and have those people in your list, so you just go down, hey, I'm going to be at Fairhill this weekend, schedule your appointment now, and you hit them before you go, you hit them when you get there, and you hit them once you're already there. You will get appointments like crazy, and you will find as your business, your list will just keep growing and growing and growing. So now all you're doing is just walking around, and going, oh yeah, I know that person. Oh, here's my phone. And you copy and paste the message right in there, send. There's another person, copy and paste, send, copy and paste, send. And
yes,
rifle off 100 people in an hour by just walking around the showgrounds. And if you send off 100 messages and they know you send off 100 messages, I guarantee you will be flat out busy for the rest of the show.
Correct.
It's just a law of large numbers. Now, if you only talk to a few of them, and you will only get a couple of businesses. It's just the facts.
I'm going to go down and pound the pavement, talk to people. I find I'm really good in person. I don't know why. I just am. And just open and friendly. I mean, I've built my name in the endurance world. It's getting better. I mean, I'm not a national champion for no reason. So I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So you just have to, fill in your schedule and build up that business and let people know you're available.
Yes, exactly. And that's definitely what I'm going to be working on, And I do other disciplines. I do hunt, I fox hunt, I do dressage. I do a little bit of everything, but
Well, I can tell you one that would be a natural for you is the Arabian and National Show Horse crowd. Those people were always asking me to come to their shows. They didn't have anybody coming to their shows. They have some vets that are really pro PEMF. And if I can remember the guy's name, he's from Michigan. But the vets that go there are really pro PMF, and they have no practitioners going. Now that may have changed, but I can tell you that business, that industry, the National Show Horses and the Arabians, because
I am partial to my herbs.
they love it. They love it.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a definite good area.
And it's a great circuit too.
Yeah, it definitely is. I just don't want to spread myself too thin. It's hard being the one person doing all of this. So sometimes, like with this whole thing that we just went over, I get a little overwhelmed. Does that make sense? It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't have, like you have Sherry. I don't have anybody. I have 0.
Yeah. So you just need to focus, and then make what you do really work. And the way that you do that is, so now you know this is what your program is. This is what your program is. You only have 2 things that you're going to do. You're going to get a big stack of brochures.
Yep.
Okay. And the 8.5 by 11, 2 images up, you cut them in half on nice cardstock. You get a big stack of those.
Okay.
And you take those with you to the shows. And then you walk around, you pass those out, and you get everybody in your phone.
Yes, definitely.
And try, as you're walking around, texting them, private messaging them. And then when you get back, you go through that phone and you send every single one of those people that's at that show a Facebook friend request.
Right.
And then as you're doing that, you boom, send them a message, copy and paste, send them a message. And,
yes.
And if you get everybody at that show, I don't care if it's a small show, you're going to be busy. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got a couple of clients going already, so that's the reason I'm going.
There you go. Now you got your. So now if you go, so let's just fast forward a year. Let's fast forward a year. I know I'm going back to this show, and in my phone were all the people that were there at last show. I'm just going to go, and it's, what day is it today? Wednesday. Is it Tuesday? Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to be at the show on Thursday, so I'm texting and Facebook and private messaging all the people that were there last year. Last year you were at this show. I'm going to be there again. You can book your appointments now.
Yeah.
And I'll do 3 for $250 if you book it now. And they'll be like, okay, great. Here's my credit card. And then you just run their credit card, write it on your schedule.
Got it. Definitely. Yeah, I do a lot of package deals up front, so I make them pay up front.
Yep, pay up front, schedule up front, and
schedule and pay. Boom, 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 out the door.
And then by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you have your schedule. Everybody's paid for. You're just going from stall to stall to stall. You line them all up based on which ones are the most convenient. You just go set your schedule, go and knock them out.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so that's the program. That's a program really for everybody.
Look, cute dog.
That's a cute dog.
Hippie.
All right, let's see. So Paula wants to work on her. I have no video, but client list and elevator speech are my to-do list. That's a very great to-do list. You do those 2 things, you'll be so far ahead. Yeah, elevator speech, practice.
Hey, John. Do you have a already like generic, like cookie cutter, like Mad Libs, like for the copy and paste thing to send to people, like after I've met them and said, hey, my name's Teresa, do you have like anything that's already like, just insert your name here and send them this. It's like, hey, my name's Teresa. Thanks for talking to me today. From whatever you name of your business. Like, I need something that to like kind of make that super looky professional, I guess.
Forget the professional. Be yourself.
Oh God.
Seriously. Be yourself. It doesn't have to be professional. Just be yourself. Like, you know, I mean, my son would be like, dude, sup, man? You know, send me your credit card now. You know, that's like, if that works for you, do it. You know,
That's not gonna work.
Just be yourself and say, you know, Teresa here, what the fuck you been up to? Give me your credit card. I'm ready for you.
I dropped
if you don't do it now,
if you don't
do it now, you're gonna regret it, and you're gonna be
I'm gonna hunt you down
behind my back because I'm gonna be in front of you, and all your competitors are. You know, I mean, just whatever works for you, just do it. You know.
Okay.
And don't be worried about perfection. And you know what? And this is the thing is if it didn't work, do something else. Like just change it. You know. Mm-hmm. Like, this is going to be my thing, this show. See how it works. Oh, that really didn't work that well. So I'm just going to do something else. And then the next show, you try something else. Then pretty soon you're going to find out, boy, this is really working. When I say this, you know, the dude thing really works for me. Okay, so I'm going to stay with the dude, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I did the B story.
The bee story. That's so funny. All right. Thanks, John.
So
I appreciate
all you
that.
guys are my little bees. I want you to all go out there and find your pollen. All right.
But that pollen's deadly.
Find your pollen. And when you find it, celebrate. Yay! I got a client. I got another one. Go get another one. So we're about at the end. I think you guys all have gotten the point. You've gotten your list of things to do. I see a really good response there. You know, client list, elevator speech. Teresa's got hers all nailed. She's just going to be doing great from here on out. Whitney, sounds like you are doing great. And I don't know about this, your recommendation thing and how her recommendation thing came off her Facebook page. How does that work?
The review.
Yeah, she's saying her recommendation section. I guess where you review.
Settings. It's in the settings of. It's in the like.
So you can turn it off and turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for your recommendations, look in your settings, and it can be review. I'm pretty sure you can turn it off or you can turn it on. You must have somehow just turned it off. Sometimes Facebook's settings will do a hiccup and make a change. So, it doesn't give the option at all. It doesn't give the option in well, what I would try, and you're talking about your business Facebook page, right? So if it was there originally,
correct. Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. Yes, it's originally there, and I followed YouTube videos on how to turn it on in the settings, and it does not even. There's no option in that tab that those videos direct me to. It's just non-existent.
Okay, so what probably happened is that the directions that you're getting, Facebook has many different variations on that. The Facebook that they're giving you directions on, I would be willing to bet this happens because like my Facebook is different than Sherry's Facebook, so she'll be doing something on hers, and I'll be like, I don't understand where is it like that, and then I'll go back to mine. It's not like that at all, but it's somewhere there. So the directions that you may be getting may be on a different variation of
But
the Facebook.
you can have different styles of pages, and there's different tabs.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you go into the settings and you look at the tabs, and it's also like your page itself, you can choose different styles of the page that offer you different options.
Right.
So kind of noodle around a little bit. I'll look at mine and see if I can give you some direction on that. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I had some great reviews, and now they're just like gone.
That's crazy. I don't understand.
Yeah, you want to get those back.
I don't understand that.
Because usually people just bury the reviews when they get some bad ones.
But you didn't do anything?
No, I haven't done anything. And on Google, it showed that there were other people that it's just disappeared. They've lost them. And then randomly one day they'll come back.
Wow. Okay.
So maybe we're all randomly pushing the button that we don't know exists.
It's a setting. I guarantee you it's a setting that or a format.
I mean, that is the most frustrating thing about Facebook.
Facebook's always changing stuff. They change stuff all the time. It is really frustrating.
Very frustrating. And then, I mean, I've literally just like you have to be like a Facebook detective. It's kind of crazy.
Right.
Like, and just keep, but I will see if I can find something on that.
Okay. Thank you. I'll look again as well. Let you know if I find anything as well.
So next week is PMF for people. And why don't you guys put on the Facebook group if you have questions about treating people. What are your questions? What would you like to see about people? Because each group is different. This group is pretty horsey. So are you guys treating people? How in-depth do you want to go? The last group really wanted to get in-depth a lot. What we have for you is really a behind-the-scenes look of from the Pulse Center practitioner or product specialist group that Marcia at Pulse Centers really talked a lot about how to treat people using all the different accessories.
And don't we do my elevator speech?
And then Sherry does her elevator speech, on what is PEMF. So you want to watch that for sure. It's also in the portal. If you're looking for ways to do your elevator speech and how to talk about what PEMF is, listen to that one a bunch because this is really good. We've done that so many times and refined that really to what we know that works and resonates with people from really super technical backgrounds to just really regular people. So we actually had a lady that was a PhD from MIT that bought our machines out in New York, and she was in charge of 300 scientists developing drugs for the pharmaceutical industry, and she listened to that PMF, what is PMF, and totally got it, did not dispute it one bit, and was really said that was a great explanation. So and bought a system. Yeah.
Well, tell the story how she would drive to work and couldn't get out of her car, and
So
she could get out of pain.
Yeah, so we're out of time.
Oh.
That's a story for another day. So, all right, we're at the end. Thank you guys so much for being with us. And you're my little bees. Now go out there and find your pollen and let me know how it goes, and put some more questions in the group that we can answer next week. And look forward to hearing your success stories. So go get it. Thanks.
I'm back.
Bye. Oh, yeah. Veronica's back.
Bye. See you next week. I'll do the review on the video.
All right.